Hey guys, thought I'd make a video. I've been meaning to make this video for a while, but I've been so sick I haven't been able to. My voice was so clogged up, you couldn't even understand me. I sounded like an old man when I would talk. And my voice is still a little choked up, you can probably tell, but I wanted to make this now while I can, because when I get sick, it just takes me forever to heal. So, I wanted to go ahead and make this now. Like I said, I've been meaning to make this for a month. But one of the reasons I did not give for work, going to college, and one of the fears that I made for going to college is one of the reasons I worry about going that I didn't get to mention in the last video is that I'm going to talk about today is just doing the 40-hour-a-week thing, which, I mean, I'd be thankful to even be able to get a job like that, but doing it would be probably problematic for me for a number of reasons, but there'd also be some benefits. If you've ever read Roosh V, he used to be a pickup artist. He's now changed and become more of a religious man, a Christian. He wrote an article, though, back when he was still kind of in the PUA phase, and the article was titled, you can look it up, The High Cost of Working 40 Hours a Week, and that's the title. And he must have, because he's a writer for a living, and so he doesn't have a normal 40-hour, a week job. And he was talking about that he had to do some kind of job, though, for a certain period of time. And he said, so for a while he had to get up and go to work. He said, so my job was kind of similar to what most people, for a while it was similar to what most people do. You get up, you go to work, come home in the evening time. And he said, he did that, and he noticed things. He noticed by the end of the day his creativity was gone because of having to work in an office, all day. He said it kind of wore me out mentally. He said, I don't mean physically, but mentally. I was just very tired. I didn't want to do anything. I had no creativity. He said, I didn't want to read, much of anything. I just wanted to kind of sit and vegetate, I just wanted to sit on the couch and watch YouTube videos. He said, I didn't do that very much during the days, other than just research. And he said, but now, I would get home and I just wanted to vegetate and watch junk videos or junk TV. And he said that I would just sit and eat junk food too. I didn't want to do anything. I was just worn out at the end of the day. And see, I don't want to be like that, because one of the things I love to do is study, and I love getting on the internet, and I love reading, and I love learning. But the problem is, I can't do that when I'm having to work. Going to bed at a certain time, because I'd have to get rest, to get up and do my job, whatever I could get. And I love reading on the internet. I mean, one of the joys of my life has been learning the things I've learned, and I would have never had that opportunity had it not been for the internet, because, there's not many libraries where I live, there's not a lot of bookstores, we have one of each, and they're not huge, and it's hard to get what you want to learn. And say with the internet, it's like having an encyclopedia. Well, you're at, and then with a smartphone, you have a computer in your pocket. So, it's great to be able to learn those things and do those things. And like I said, if I sound so stuffed up, I am. My head's just clogged again. It just comes back and forth. But it's that was one of the things he talked about. He talked about, like I said, I don't want that happening to me. But that's kind of the internet. It's a rabbit hole. You start to study and you click on one thing and then you click on another thing, and then you're like, oh my gosh, maybe I shouldn't have done this in the first place. And I needed a lot of time to learn the things I learned. I'm very thankful. I'm thankful that I learned the manosphere. I'm thankful I learned about, the truths of men and women, the truths of people in general. My political knowledge shot through the roof. At least I think, it did. My religious knowledge shot through the roof, and I'm thankful for that because I'd have never had it. And yeah, I mean that's the problem is I wouldn't be able to do that when I work all the time, And I remember the one job that I had, and that was just working at a grocery store. I would get up in the morning about 6 o'clock. Mom would take me into work because she had to go to work. Of course, I didn't have a car back then or a license, so she had to drive me. And I remember going, and I would get off at 3 o'clock in the evening, and I was just dead the rest of the day. I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted people to leave me alone. I was young back then. I was physically like that, mentally like that, and I worked all the time, and it wore me out, just that period of time of doing that. And to be honest, I hated the job. Oh, God, I hated it. And that's one of the things I worry about doing this. He talked about, when he worked in the office that he would just look at the women in the office, and he talked about, I didn't really do nothing but look at them and fantasize about them if I was ever in there, kind of passing the day, because he hated being there. And he said, I just look at the women and think about sex with them or, being with them or whatever, and he was just talking about, it was a miserable experience, kind of wage slaving. That's what, they call it in the incel black pill community. They call the term wage slaving, and I think about that. Don't get me wrong, I'd be thankful to have the good job, but I do think about that wage slaving. And it's, I mean, do I want to do that? Will I be miserable? Will I be sad? I won't be able to learn anymore. I won't feel like doing anything anymore. Will it be like that? I think about that a lot. Now, there's benefits. And oh, yeah, by the way, and he talked about, before I get to the benefits, he talked about, he'd be tired all the time when he got home. He just didn't want to do anything. He said it was like it drained me of everything, And, of course, he wasn't as young as I was back when I was 18, 19 years old, working that job. And he would talk, because he was in his 30s. So, he was a lot older than what I was at my job. But if I was that tired back then, now part of that I know is my autism and my low muscle tone. Of course, I was doing a lot more physical labor than I probably would do at these other jobs. Like I was having to, lift heavy boxes all the time and do all that. And of course, that wore me out, But I just remember that he just said that he noticed that, boy, he hated doing it. And he said, I was really glad when I got done with it, that job, because he said, I kind of just didn't want to do that anymore. And he said, I don't know what I would do because I just don't know if I want a job like that, And I think of that a lot. And I think about, can I do, like I said, can I do the job? I don't know. Now, the perks of getting this and succeeding at it, of course, if I get into a community college, I got to succeed. I got to make it. So, sorry, guys, I'm so stuffed up. If I get in, I got to make it. I got to be able to do it. And not quit. Obviously I can't quit. Mom would go nuts on me if I did. I would have to be able to make it. But it's the perks would be, it'd be nice to have some money. I mean, I've been poor for most of my life, and all I've done is got poorer since I was young. And it'd be nice to be able to go to a movie every once in a while and, not get yelled at by your family and, because you want to do something ever. It'd be nice to take a trip. I haven't taken a vacation in, 20, 30 years, It's been a long time. Can't even remember the last trip I took. It's been so long. It'd be nice to be able to do things like that. I might be able to do that if I could get me some kind of job and maybe moving in the middle class. I've never been in the middle class, so it'd be nice to be able to do that because we were always poor. And, yeah, it stinks. What do you do? The answer is, I'm obviously worried about it. I don't know. I'm concerned. But I just wanted to talk about it. Like I said, now that I was physically able again. I've been sick for so long. But, yeah, it's an issue. But that's all I got to really say. Trying to think of everything, it's just hard. Your mind blanks. I haven't been able to sit down and, prepare a video. So, that's about all I got to say. But I don't know if anybody else has those fears. And, if you do, leave me some comments and tell me. It kind of concerns me. But take care, guys. Have a good one. Talk to you soon.